Okay,
like
cool.
one over there.
Right, okay, I'll remember that when I'm over there next hour.
Just gonna leave over here. There's a lunchbox. There's a hub.
All good?
What a hearty lunch. I get it.
Alright, boys and girls, this is Castle of Illusion, doing normal this time. I'm not sure the donation incentives were met, but we might do practice later on and show you the 1 minute run that is. But here we go, 3, 2, 1, go.
Best parts lightly when I go.
Bit of tech smashing to start off, nothing terribly interesting. There's a fair bit of speed tech in this. It's all very subtle stuff that only ever saves like 1 second. Stuff like little slope launches like that can get you above the maximum speed. Basically, you've got to let go of the right button though. If you hold right, then you're locked to the speed cap. But if you let go, then you can maintain your speed from slopes as well. There's a pretty difficult trick at the end of this area here as well. Basically involves delaying a little bit and then damage boosting across some of this area by using that bee that just flew above me. It's stupidly difficult. I haven't been able to find a consistent way to do it, so we're just doing scrub tier strats for today. But you can save about 5 seconds if you do that. This boss, super easy, but he has a bit of luck involved. Sometimes he bounces off the wall like that, and sometimes he doesn't. Obviously, you want him to stay and just bounce once. We got pretty unlucky this time. 331 is about normal, or 330. I should totally do the door glitch. I don't know. I might do it. We'll see. We'll see how train wrecky this is first. So another bit of tech in this is you can increase your max jump height by doing... No, I just missed it. Basically, if you sort of clip the corner of a ceiling, then you can jump a little bit higher than normal. There's also that little clip there, which is just by doing a Mickey butt slam during your jump up, and you can clip through that block that normally falls down. Bad throw. You can throw that block so that it lands sort of inside the switch. So that you don't have to pick it up and throw it back down again on top. You're meant to grab that block there to get up on top of this ledge coming up here, but we're just going to damage boost over it. I'll grab this cake just for safety. There's a good example of maintaining momentum down slopes. And we'll try and do it again here. It's a little bit tricky. No, there we go. Had a input eaten there. Would have tried to jump over that chest otherwise. Alright, we'll grab the key. Chuck it down here. This boss, pretty easy. I think these little ball things are random. They're at least partially random, like I haven't found a way to make them perfectly consistent yet. That was a bit closer than it probably should have been, but anyway. You can sort of manipulate him a little bit to do shorter jumps rather than longer jumps, but yeah, it's sort of a little bit random as well. Obviously, you want him to do shorter jumps whenever possible, but yeah, as long as you hit him when he hits the ground, then that's about all you can really do for that fight. The main thing is to get that really first early hit in on him. Token auto-scroller of the run. There's sort of 2 half auto-scrollers in the run, and I just bonked into that wall and died. That's pretty good. But yeah, there's this level, and then there's another one later on. It's the very last level, and it's basically, I don't know, about a quarter of the final level is an auto-scroller, and it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but this one, despite the fact that I just died on it somehow, is actually pretty easy. There's nothing really to worry about here. Yeah, because it's an auto-scroller, there's not much you can do. I can show off a cool little glitch that you can use to get up here, which you're not supposed to be able to do. It saves you having to go through that corridor below and like throw all of those things and mash buttons about 400 times, so it makes it easier, and it gives you something to show off as well, which is always good.
Now we're going to go to my least favorite level.
I used to play carry the one up, which is like the first box you see in this level, all the way to the end. Then I died like 4 times trying to do it, so I don't do that anymore.
You may be wondering if I have a breath meter. If you look at the bottom left, it's also got my health and my lives, but there's a bubble that's circling around it.
Alright, so this last cupcake here I'm going to pick up and then throw while I'm in midair, because whenever you throw something, if you're on the ground, then you lose a little bit of time. You slow down a tiny little bit, so throwing them while you're in midair is obviously ideal. Jumping out of water can be a bit of a pain in the butt sometimes too. That'll come into play a little bit later on. The way to jump out of water is sort of seemingly just to mash as fast as you can and just hope that it like doesn't eat the inputs. Like, I don't know how to explain it any better than that. It only seems to accept some swimming inputs. Alright, this is going to be a good example of a ceiling boost. Normally that jump would have been impossible because I was standing in that very exact spot. I was able to get enough height from the jump to be able to make that. There's 3 ways to do this next boss. This is sort of the middle tier one. There's obviously the normal way where you just, throw blocks at him and just do it normally. The way that I'm going to be doing it is that I'm going to hold onto this block until he punches the wall again. And if I throw the block at him after he's punched the wall, then it'll skip this cycle where he does this really slow swinging across to the other side. The other way is to actually sneak one of the indestructible blocks into here and kill him with that, which is a bit faster, but you have to go get the indestructible block, which is quite a ways away, and I wouldn't have been able to show off that other skip, so this is a pretty good compromise, and it's not that much slower.
I can swap from Super Metro, and I know a lot of people would want to watch that instead of this. I'm truly sorry.
Alright, so that's the first tier done. Doing the levels in order, like left to right, is a little bit faster because you have to sit here and wait for this ladder at the end of it, so it means that you spend more time running back to the ladder that would otherwise be wasted. So there's a skip in this level as well. It pretty much doesn't matter if I take a couple of hits here because the skip involves getting a cake from a place that you're not meant to be able to. Hopefully, if I do this jump right for once, yes, okay, good. That can be a pain in the ass sometimes. Getting that cake to appear there is a little bit precise, and it seems to be like easier if you approach it from the right hand side. Like if you try and get it afterwards, like if you miss it the first time and try and get it back up, then yeah, it can be a little bit dicey. Yet again, really annoying, like swimming and jumping out of the water there. That worked pretty well though. If I do all this right, I should be able to do this pretty much without slowing down. Just barely.
So, just got a donation in from Mercanter, who gives $7.55. Shout outs to Potato and PSX, the rock band gods.
Yes, I did have a very fun session of Rock Band last night with the DK crew and a couple of others, so that was very cool of those guys. Thank you very much. This is all just about, these music notes are the same every time, so you just got to memorize where they are and slow down as little as possible. There is a damage boost, or not a damage boost, but you can basically kill that enemy and use the boost to jump on the top there without using the block, but it's a little bit too risky. If you miss it, then you have to go back up and get the block anyway, so it doesn't really save that much time to be worth it for a marathon. Alright, so this is the book boss. If we're lucky, we can get cycle skipped by staying up here, and he has to stay on the same side, which he did. So that was actually really good. That was a cycle skip that is quite... It's pretty hard to execute, and it's also got a fair bit of luck involved with it, because you have to get one of the letters that goes up high, you have to be able to jump off it and land up on the top level, and then he has to stay on the same side as well. So it was good that I got at least one cycle skip to show off there. Alright, clock tower level. This is probably the hardest level in the run. It's mainly difficult because you need a little bit of luck to get through one of the parts. I'm going to be sort of doing, possibly, depending on the luck I get, I might be doing sort of a marathon route where I'll go and get the first gem, the boss gem if I get good luck on the first try. But if I don't, I'll go get the second one instead. So basically, that was good luck there. this block here needs to go up high, which it did, but I got hit by that one down the bottom, so we're going to go down here first instead. It's probably more preferable to go this way. It's actually a fair bit faster, but I have to rely on the luck of the block that I was trying to jump off then going in the right direction. If it doesn't, then I've got to go up the ladder and come back to reset the room, and I've got to do that as many times as it takes to get the thing to go. And this skips like about a minute of like auto-scrolly stuff on the next level, so it's definitely worth it, even if it takes a few tries. No, low and low again. I also mistimed that a little bit too. Obviously, if this goes bad enough, I can actually die here too, because to get into the right position in time, yeah, that was low again, and I got bad luck on the first one. Ah, damn it. So that's alright, we just got to basically do that part of the level again. Doesn't take too long to get there. But that was really bad luck. That was like 4 in a row that were wrong, and I was also getting bad luck on the other side as well. Like the enemies on the left-hand side were appearing in the place where I needed to jump when I needed to jump there, so it was also really hard to set up.
So they're going to do that the whole time I'm doing this, and I want to hope and pray to any sort of deity there is that they will actually...
Okay, there we go. Obviously took a fair bit of damage there, but with any luck, there's a pretty difficult to attain cake on the way down. Hopefully I'll get that, and I'll be able to show a couple of the boss cycle skips. That looks pretty good, actually. There we go. That cake's actually surprisingly difficult to get to. It might have looked pretty easy, but you have to actually time your jump pretty well. And I'll basically try my best to get a couple of skips here. Basically, at his lowest arc, you can actually hit him. But because I've only got 1 health, I'm going to be pretty careful still. It takes 5 hits to kill this guy. Oh wow, I even missed that cycle because that cog was in the way. Oh god. If I die here, that's not good news, so I'll just be super careful now. Just one more. Alright. So yeah, I didn't get to do any cycle skips there, but I didn't die, so that's the main thing. So there's just 1 level left, but it's about, I don't know, 3 times longer than all the other levels. It's got a fair bit of, there's a lot of risk-reward stuff in the last level. There's a lot of like little 2-second saves that you can take, but they all have the possibility of taking damage as well. This is the part where we find and devour the 7 crystal babies.
This is one such case. It's going to be eaten by this fish. Alright, I mean it. But there's a treasure chest. It uses a code that uses my GameCube controller's inputs. The answer is A, X, and B. How do I know that? Because the manual tells
So yeah, all of these little anvil dudes, you can jump over pretty much all of them. These early ones are the hardest ones, and you'll pretty much, if you try and do it, then you'll basically take damage every time. So I'm going to leave those 2, but I'm going to be trying to do a couple of skips on a couple of the easier ones later on. Try and save a couple of seconds here and there. Like that guy, for example. That's actually probably the hardest one I'll do. It's surprisingly tight, that window. That wasn't very good. I obviously want to be on the left-hand side of this platform. Alright, this key coming up. There's a couple of opportunities if I screw up that I'll drop it, and if I drop it, it's really bad news. Obviously, getting hit by that spider is bad news. The landing on that little platform that falls away, you can actually land in such a particular place that you land sort of inside it, and it just stops your momentum entirely, and that can really screw you up as well. Oops. And a weird thing where you use the same key as before to open a different door, because old school platformer, I guess. So here's the other auto-scrolling part. With the door glitch that was mentioned before, there's theoretically a way that you could possibly get into this room without it being an auto-scroller, which would probably knock another nearly a minute off this run, but there's not a way to stand on glitched doors. Like, they don't have an area on top that you can actually stand on, so that hasn't been used to any fruition just yet.
Part of this is that if he stops after jumping forward, he will like crack his knuckles and start an attack that I can't interrupt.
Not much else to really say about this section. I count 5 blocks here. If you count 5 of those blocks, you know the seahorse is coming. There's a free bit of cake here, which is always good. I actually need to do a damage boost in the room after this, so... Oh no, I threw away the block. I'm screwed. I'm going to get crushed by the auto-scroller. Woe is me. No, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Alright, so the last sort of major, I guess, skip, last little sequence break coming up. I want to get hit by this guy and then do a damage boost up onto the roof here. You can do that without taking damage, but it's way harder. I'm going to grab this cake just for safety. Oh, it's a pain in the butt sometimes though. There we go.
Such as time constraints and runners leaving and whatnot. So I'm terribly sorry.
Alright, so next is the dragon boss. Easily the hardest boss, just because of the speed tech involved. Obviously you're meant to stand on that platform every time, but you can do it from down here. And if you can do it from down here, it's a lot faster. You don't have to wait for anywhere near as many cycles, but you have to sort of manipulate where he breathes. And you want to sort of move away into a different spot as soon as possible, but if you go too early, then he'll breathe in the wrong place, like what happened the first time there. And the window for being able to hit him from the bottom here is actually really tight. Like, it's probably only a couple of pixels, so you have to get it done pretty well right. That actually went really well. I think there was only about 2 or 3 whiffs there, which is pretty good for me. Alright, so there's one last glitch in the run, and I've only got one chance at it. Basically, when I pick up the lantern in the witch room, it has this property where it will hit her on contact while I'm holding it. As soon as I get hit, yeah, like that. I think the glitch wasn't active that time anyway for some reason, so I don't think I really lost anything there. Oh god, unless I keep getting hit. But yeah, you can basically just tap her with it while you're holding it, and it makes it a lot faster because you don't have to like keep running away and picking it back up again. But yeah, for some reason the glitch doesn't seem to be active all the time, and I haven't quite worked out why. It's only seemed to happen recently, but that's alright, we can just do it the old school way. Well, hopefully we can just do it the old school way. I'm just taking a lot more hits than I probably should be. Just one more hit, I think. Oh god. Oh well, that's alright. It took me 2 tries on the last run as well. So, here we go. We'll just try it again. It gets sort of easier on the second try if you didn't get the glitch anyway, because you know that you won't have the glitch on the second try, so you won't end up like taking a hit thinking that you're gonna be safe. Because while you're using the glitch, you can abuse the fact that she takes invincibility frames after she gets hit, so you can basically jump right into her hitbox and it doesn't hurt you. There we go. I'll stand in my favorite final pose animation here, and yeah, that's it. 18:01 is okay for a marathon. I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, unless some of the donation incentives were made, that's Castle of Illusion. Hope you enjoyed.
We also have a couple of other incentives. Yes, we do. We have over on station. That's it. The station 2 incentive, but over on station 1, we have the mediocre request for Infinity language choice ignore. Currently, English is looking at with $7.35, but you can also have the gameplay crash. So, if you would like to see that, get the donation in. And if you just want to donate for a fantastic charity, that is fine too. Very much appreciated.
Okay, well, thank you very much for good old PotatoHandle there with his Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse run. Up next, we actually have Worcester with Knuckles in Sonic 2. If he wants to come on down.
This is the Sundial realm or something. I don't know. There's not one in every world, but there's one in every second world. They generally just flat over certain sections. So that skips an elevator cuts in. Whoop. These guys, you have to kill them to break the door, or you can do this. Damn, the boys.